Hi Amanda, hi Lizzie. Today I thought I would do a little response to Lizzie's video from last week, part 1 of her great video that she sent me. And for this video, I just wanted to name exactly what Lizzie was talking about, which is the idea of when someone says something problematic or when someone doesn't include minorities or just doesn't remember to think of everyone in their conversations about privilege or social justice and that kind of topic. How to tell them that they did something wrong but also be educational, and that's something that we call calling in versus calling out. I love the distinction you made, Lizzie, between the Tumblr user who is just your average person, probably anonymous, versus a public figure like a celebrity or a politician. That distinction is really important because a lot of the times we forget that not everyone is a public figure just because they have a personality online or just because you don't know them doesn't mean you can call them out in the same way that you would maybe like call someone out on Twitter if they're a famous celebrity. So to talk about that, calling in is to say, like Lizzie, if you said something problematic or something that wasn't inclusive of everyone, I would call you in. I would say, hey Lizzie, I'm your friend. Can I talk to you about this thing that you said? You might not understand right now what was wrong with it, but as your friend, I will walk you through it. So that's calling in. That's saying, hey, let's go get coffee. Let's talk through what you said and why it's problematic. Versus calling out, which is when it could be anyone, but typically like a person of more popularity or more influence can say something problematic, and then other people, maybe often through social media now, Twitter's a big one, and just tweet at them and say, what you said right here is wrong. But the difference between that is calling out, you don't really have the same opportunity to explain why and to teach someone. Not to say that calling out isn't important also, it's definitely very important and can lead to a lot of conversations. But when you have the opportunity to call in, I think that's so important. And actually at VidCon, I watched the Power of Words panel. I watched the Power of Words panel, and Francesca Ramsey, she did a great job talking about calling in versus calling out. And Ali Speed also. The panel was moderated by Megan Tonjes, so obviously love that girl. But Francesca Ramsey was trying to explain to Connor Franta how he, as a public figure and as someone that is kind of a celebrity, should be calling people out or maybe calling people in. He's in a place of privilege where he probably has the phone number of a lot of people that, especially in the YouTube community at least, that might say something problematic. And with that privilege of saying like, you are an influencer, I'm an influencer, we're friends, let's go get coffee. So he's in a position, whereas for me, I don't know the big YouTubers personally, so I would maybe call them out. The other thing is, because a lot of times calling out of people, especially on social media, can turn into a aggressive thing. Like everyone starts kind of dogpiling all this hate on the person, and that's not really gonna help change their opinion, help change what they're doing. So definitely call something out if you see something is wrong, but then take the step, call them in. Like I keep using the example of Twitter because that's what they talked about in the Power of Words panel. But if you follow someone, they follow you back, direct message them. Instead of making it so public that they get embarrassed and then take offense and then don't want to listen to an explanation, say, hey, let's talk about it. So yeah, I think calling out versus calling in is exactly what Lizzie's talking about and what you'll hear her talk about more tomorrow. It's fantastic because everyone has privilege in some way, and when you have privilege, there's a little bit of responsibility, or maybe a lot of responsibility, to make sure you're using your privilege to help people and not to hurt them. So to be able to use your privilege to call people in and call people out is something that you should do, and something that I try and do as often as I can with as much tact and love and respect as I can. So thanks for talking about that, Lizzie. I was really excited about it. The second I watched your video, I sat down and wanted to film this. If you have anything to say about calling in and calling out, leave a comment below. Like, subscribe if you want to see more. Lizzie's video will be up. Lizzie's part 2 will be up tomorrow, and Amanda will be back on the channel on Thursday. And yeah, thanks, bye.